Very nice to be here with you today. And first of all, I would like to welcome you on this expedition, which is named AKMA2 Ocean Sciences. AKMA is a project that has been granted by the Norwegian Research Council, and AKMA stands for Advancing Knowledge on Methane in the Arctic. And this is the second expedition that we are having in the Arctic on this vessel, which is Kronprins Haakon. So this is the expedition that I'm leading together with a colleague, which is Stefan Boons. During this expedition we have different projects running together. One is AKMA, the other one is Ocean Sciences, and then you see another logo, which is the logo of the United Nations. Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, because this expedition has been endorsed by the United Nations. What we are going to do during this expedition, we will do science and then we will do education. The main aim of the AKMA project is to develop knowledge about methane activity in the seabed, on the subsea floor and in the ocean in different Arctic regions. And our goals are actually to investigate coal seeps where you have emissions of methane. You can have emission of natural oil and also gas hydrate. We would like to investigate the origin of this fluid and the organisms actually that they are living there.
Yes, so during next dive we are going to collect sediment cores. So I'm preparing the case for hosting the push core. And we also have another type of sediment coring device, which is called blade cores.
The thing is, when the RV is at the seafloor, it's staying for a couple of hours. So we have to be efficient each time that the RV is at the seafloor. So one of the best things to do is to collect large number of cores for each dive. So this is the best way to be efficient when we are at sea with the RV.
Yes.
I don't know.
No, this one. Yeah, that one.
Okay. Yes. Ska det vara en man eller är det eller?
Ja, men den är för stor. Jag kan lyfta den. Vi har ju bitar där nere, den är på väg.
I don't know, what's here for me? Check! Oh, brittle stars! So I put the most of the animals on 96% ethanol because that's really good for DNA extractions later on.
Yummy.
This is one big forest, right? They're not only very small.
Yeah, exactly. That was the plan to you show it. I'm surprised that I'm starting just today. This is because we were not slicing core before.
Yeah, exactly. There was so much fun.
On va remettre un petit coup de côté. Je le trouve bien difficile.
Yeah.
So we put the mud that we collect from the bottom of the sea, we put them through these different sized sieves. So we collect different sizes of forams so that we can use them for DNA studies. This is all one species of foram. These are the big ones, Botulina labyrinthica. Yeah, they're very big. This is one single specimen, this little stick. And now they're stored in this RNA and DNA preserver. So this will preserve them until we're doing like the sequencing of the DNA. Yeah, and they are agglutinated, so they kind of use the sediments from the seafloor to build their little house, their chamber. Yeah, and they're like a really big part of what you find in the Arctic Ocean. But that's what was completely new to me, because you don't preserve them as well as the ones with calcareous shells. So yeah, it's a whole new world waiting to be discovered.
And last night actually we had an ice station, so we have basically stopped our vessel close to ice and we have collected ice cores where we will measure different biogeochemical parameters.
So we just got some cores of ice because we want to conduct some analysis and check if there is any trace of methane in small tiny bubbles inside this natural ice, because the idea is to test some experiments for future exploration of what we call the icy moons of Saturn, where we have a planet of rock with an ocean all around the planet covered by ice. So it's pretty much what we are having here, and the common thing is that there is methane escaping from the seafloor. And so we hope to get some good results. Definitely it was a very exciting job, and it doesn't happen every day to have the chance to get some core ice.
We have this kind of device called blade cores for environments where the sediment is more gravelly. Because in these environments the sediment is less sticky, so it can fall down when we are taking the sample, collecting the sample. So this is really convenient because when we trigger this, then we have the blade that is closing the system, and if you have a lot of rocks and sand, everything stays in the proper way inside with a well-preserved interface.
And it's also really good for when you're sharing samples, which is our case.
Yeah, because
so, like,
it's much more sediment.
This core was going to be used for at least 5 people.
Yeah.
So for pool water, for geochemistry, meiofauna, micropaleontology, macrofauna, and in DNA, 6 people actually. Yeah, this one is still alive. It's still the full animal inside the tube.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a tube worm, a polychaete.
It's having fun apparently.
And it's gonna go to the pot, unfortunately, when you're gonna use it for science. Poor thing.
So what is ocean sensors? So basically, we're trying to create a connection between students in the classroom or people in general and the ocean floor through using our sensors. Because we're talking about an environment that's highly abstract. We can't get to it as human beings, only using these ROVs, these submarines, to get down there. So we've spent the past couple of weeks on board gathering stories about the natural science from the seafloor and working together with the teachers in particular on board to develop these teaching tools where we can bring the seafloor and all the stories about it to life in the classroom through our senses. Now the next exciting stage is basically to try these tools out in the classroom and see if we manage to create some sort of connection between the students and then this crazy distant place that's so important for the ecosystem of the whole world basically. We're hoping that these teaching materials aren't just based in schools and with school kids, but also there's an opportunity to open these processes and these ideas up to adults, anybody, people in any generation basically. We'll see how it goes. We'll start with schools and then see where it ends up.
You know, this cave here is probably existing because the hydrates are forming and the hydrates are buoyant, and then they're lifting up the ground, forming the cave. So by touching any of that, we could also simply just release a massive amount of hydrates. So we should be careful with touching this. You see this one there? How kind of it was floating?
I don't know what is that.
This is also gas-lighted, I think. I guess I have to say I have hoped many years now to see something like that. It's the first time we see them exposed at the seafloor here up around on the Svalbard margin.
So we are basically confirming many years of hypotheses and yeah.
It's like a nice crystal cave here.
We are very happy today, actually.
The funny thing is like that we have overlooked this site since 2001, because this is when within an EU project we discovered the pockmarks here. But we didn't have the tools to investigate them in this kind of manner.
So many years of research, not a final result, but something to investigate more in the future, but that's actually a very good day.
bellissimo. Oggi è una gran bella giornata. La conferma di tanti studi, tanti lavori, tante ipotesi. Rewarding, qualcosa che ripaga tanti anni di lavoro. E mette anche le basi per qualcosa che avverrà dopo, quindi tanti progetti. Certo risponde a delle domande, ma apre tante altre domande, quindi ci sarà lavoro da fare, ci saranno studenti che lavoreranno sui dati, progetti che bisognerà scrivere, risorse che bisognerà trovare per così aiutare i giovani a crescere, a lavorare su questi dati, quindi insomma molto bello, molto contenta.
Looks like a cave.
It's awesome.
It is a cave. I think this carbonate must have like grown out over and then all the bubbles have pushed the sediment away.
They
Yeah.
are scratching the
It's
surface.
whitish.
I want a piece of that.
I know. I know. Of course you do.
So I think it is very important not only to do science like this, lab work, but also help people understand why we are doing this and what kind of implication this study might have. So during this Akma cruise we are working together with teachers and we are having live streaming with schools all around the world. So it's important to explain in a simple way to people of all ages what we are doing and how this can help understand the evolution of our planet. We should emphasize the importance of deep ocean environment because we have a lot of biodiversity in these areas and it is at risk because of different types of human activities. So we want to monitor what's going on in the deep sea to be able to limit the impact of human activities and for a better future.
Well, ocean sensors. I have to admit that I'm a little bit nervous right now because this is a project that has started many months ago. And I understood from the beginning that it could have been some challenges because when you put people with different expertise, different background, different culture together, it might be a little bit complicated. But after few adjustments, I think this has been one very exciting but marvelous experience. And what I realized in these days, and I was in the container now trying to think what we need to do before we leave the ship, packing, sorting and stuff like that. I was thinking about what we have done in these 12 days, which is not a lot of time if you think about in terms of our lifespan. It's just, very short. But I'm sure that this experience will remain in the art, in the mind, in the touch, in the ear, in the sight, yes, of many of us. And so this I'm very happy.
He keeps his feet at the bottom of the sea. Neither is my drowning